Good evening, everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome. It is time for the Sumo Summary Show, and this is Sumo Summary Show. I missed one, so I think it's number 5, even though it's day 6. Maybe I shouldn't confuse things that way. It's just day 6. Let's just say that. It's Friday, it's the 15th, and I'm getting ready for a sumo weekend. I'll be home all weekend, watching uh, day 7 and day 8 on the couch. Gladiator 2 opens a week early here in Japan. I think you guys get it next weekend in North America and some other parts of the world. So might go see that at the movies. Trying not to really know much about it. I know it's Ridley Scott and Denzel Washington. That's good enough for me. So I'll probably head out and see that. But other than that, it's mostly going to be sumo this weekend. And I'm looking forward to it because we had some good matches today. And I know we have some good matches coming up tomorrow. So let's talk about it. All right, here we go. All right. Let's take, I know some people pulled out of the tournament. Let's look at the absent board. But the only person in the top two divisions was a Juryo 6 wrestler, Tohakuru, who pulled out today. And so somebody got a walkover win. And that's it. So all the top division wrestlers are still in there, and that's great to hear. Although we are going to talk about what happened to Mitakeumi today. And so, and I very much doubt he'll be wrestling tomorrow, but we'll get there. We'll look at the tournament leaders list for Juryo and for the top division. Excuse me, in just a moment. All right, so let's start down in Juryo. Obviously, I wasn't here yesterday on day 5, but those wins and losses are obviously folded in, so I'm not going to go back a day and go over those, but most of you have probably already seen highlights. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. The big thing, I guess, okay, I just lied. If we go back to day 5, the big thing was that Aonishiki got his first loss. He fought Oshomi. Both men went into this match in Juryo at 4-0. Oshomi won to go to 5-0, and Aonishiki lost now at 4-1. So that was probably the big Juryo development on day 5. All right, let's go back to today, day 6. Oshomi wins again against Koto Eiho. So he's 6-0 and just tearing it up. Um, so yeah, definitely want to keep an eye on him. We'll have his matches probably. Look at that, just all white circles. And hasn't fought anybody, up toward the top because he's way down at the very bottom of the Bansuke Juryo 14. But I think they'll start giving him, Kotonowaka and Hakuoho and some of the guys, Kageyaki, toward the top. He's in Naruto Beya, which is the former Kotooshu, the Ozeki from, where was he from? Bulgaria, right? Um, and uh, not the highest ranked guy in his stable. His stablemate is Oshoma, who is already in the Makuuchi division. Okay, so Juryo. Let's see who else. Aonishiki did win again today over Nabatame. They both had one loss going into this match. Aonishiki now 5-1. Chiyomaru definitely going to get demoted here. He'd have to really just turn things around in a big way because he's on the verge of a Makekoshi already practically. 0-6 now. Ono Sho beat him to go to 2-4. Waka Ikari also in the same boat at 1-5 at Juryo 13. That's very dangerous. We got some guys 5-1, so it's still very competitive down there in Juryo. Tochi Takai at 5-1, Fuji Seiyun 5-1. Here is Tohakuru pulling out of the tournament, giving the first win of the Basho to Hidena Umi, who's now 1-5, but it was a freebie, but he'll take it. Let's see, Tsurugisho 5-1. And then Shirokuma got only his second win at Juryo 3, but it's a win over Kitanowaka, who's at Juryo 1. Kim Bozon's doing well at Juryo 1 and headed probably back up to the top division in January, now 5-1. But he beat Hakuoho today. So Hakuoho not probably putting in the performance some of us were hoping for. Not that he still can't get Kachikoshi, but at Juryo 2, he might need like a 9-6. It just depends what Kitsunawaka does. But 3-3 currently, so uh, yeah, just sort of average so far. So we'll hope to see him get a couple wins on Saturday and Sunday. All right, looking at who they're fighting tomorrow. Let's just see. Aonishiki has Tochi Taikai, which is fun. They're very close in rank, and they're both 5-1, so that's a good matchup there. The leader, all by himself, Oshomi, has Daishoho. I'd probably bring you that match tomorrow just to have a look at him. Tsurugisho has Ono Sho, some of the 501s. Kaio went up to Makuuchi today, and is currently at 4-2, so he's back in the Juryo. He's fighting Shiden. And Hakuoho has Kageyaki. Kimbozan, one of the leaders, has Shimazu-umi. And Kitsunawaka versus Shimano-umi uh, in the final match of the day in Juryo. Okay, let's go back to day 6 and then go up to the top division. So here's the results of the matches today. Asakoru fought Shishi in a battle of the rookies, and Asakoru got the win. I put that video on my Patreon along with the follow-up video because Onokatsu is involved. Onokatsu, going into today's match, was 5-0, of course, and he won, so he's now 6-0. So he is on top of the leaderboard with at least one other Rikshi. We'll get there. And he fought the man from Juryo Kaio, who was 4-1, but suffered his second loss. Takeda Fuji, already 2 losses, so a little bit, uh, under expectations in a way for him. But he got a win today over Chiyoshima, so he's now 4-2. He's doing fine. Ushozan got just his first win of the tournament today by beating Nishiki Fuji. And with that win, both men are 1-5, so that's pretty rough waters right there. Shonanumi went to 4-2. Tamawashi, yay, got a win to go to 3-3. Ichi Yamamoto 4-2, beating Hokuto Fuji, who's definitely struggling with a 1-5 record right now. Takara Fuji at 4-2 by beating Sadanaumi. Takayasu evens out at 3-3, beating Meisei. Midori Fuji with a nice win. This was a nice match. Beating Endo. Both men are now 3-3. Takanosho was on the leaderboard going into today. He was 5-0 at Maegashira 6, but he lost today to Gonoyama. Both men are now 5-1. Tobizaru got his fourth win, beating Roga. But Takeyumi, okay, now this is the strange thing about this, is he's got the win, beating Koto Shoho, but as they were at the edge, the dohyo is raised, I think it's 42 centimeters off the ground. And so sometimes, you're going out and you fall off the side onto the harder floor of the surrounding arena. And he just basically didn't tuck or roll or anything and just went straight down on his side, on his shoulder. And yeah, it was a big scene for a couple minutes. Uh, they've really tried their best, and I think they have done a lot better to improve their response to injured Rikshi. In the past, they've had some really dubious times where guys got concussed or injured, and they didn't treat it very seriously. And now they have a on-staff, on-site medical personnel person who comes out, and like a paramedic to tend to the injured wrestler, and all the big former, Yokozuna and Ozeki and all the guys in the blue blazers come, and they don't have all the equipment that they have at the Kokugikan, like the large wheelchair and some of that stuff at the ready in Fukuoka because it's sort of a temporary venue. But they brought out this kind of like, stretcher board that they could roll him onto and then pick that up and put it on the gurney. And, Aoyama was there and all, they could pick up a heavy wrestler. And they carted him off, and he landed kind of in Oho's lap because Oho was waiting for his match, and Oho I thought was kind of being tender with him and like kind of like, don't worry, it's okay, they'll be here soon. But he was kind of like, hey, kind of get off my leg, and and then as soon as they came, he's like, oh. I guess I have to get up and get out of the way. All right, he's kind of a dick about it, but maybe he was just sort of like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Um, and so yeah, he laid there on the side of the dohyo for a good 5 minutes, and then they took him out. So whatever he hit or whatever, didn't go right when he landed, my guess is it's not going to be a bounce back and be back tomorrow kind of injury. So that's a shame, and I'll update you tomorrow on what's happening with that. Of course, if he pulls out, we'll know why. All right, let's go back to it. But he did get a win. And if he has to pull out of the tournament with 5 wins, he'll stay in the top division. He won't get demoted out into Juryo, which is good. Okay, Nishikigi got his first win of the tournament to go to 1-5, and again, mirroring what was it down here? The Busho's on Nishiki Fuji thing debacle, I guess we could call it. He got a 1 win. He beat a guy with only 1 win, so now they're both 1-5. Oho lost to Ura. Ura was now 2-4. Then we get into the top ranked guys. We had a Komusubi clash today between Wakamoto Haru and Shodai. And Shodai showed up and got the win. Wasn't even close. And is now 2-4. Wakamoto Haru is 3-3. Kirishima, we were all doubting. Now, I have to talk about this match too. Let me take a drink. So Kirishima is now 1-5. And what happened is he was winning, and they were at the straw bales, and his opponent, who I'm just going to share my screen again. You'd rather look at that than my ugly face anyway. Hirada Umi. So he's fighting Maegashira 1 Hirada Umi, and he's kind of like Hirada. He's backpedaling, and wait, was he? No, he was pushing Hirada Umi out, and he had a grip on the Mawashi, and he kind of bunny hopped over the Tawada at the very end after he knew he'd won. And just as he's just that tiny little leap and he's landing, and he kind of, how when you land, you're the sole. Oops, sorry, about to hit the microphone. The bottom of your foot should touch down, and it kind of like he rolled his ankle a bit right when he touched down. So that could be the excuse he's looking for to say, hey, I need to pull out of the tournament, and nobody would kind of, give him the side eye because he's obviously doing very poorly at 1-5. It's very doubtful. I think, that he'll even get his Kachikoshi just the way he's been wrestling. But if this is the motivation he needs, he got that first win and he comes back with fire in the belly tomorrow, who knows? But he did get a win and he doesn't have 0 wins anymore, so that's good. And Harada Umi is equally in trouble at 1-5 as well. Okay, then Chirana Umi, who had these great 10-5 records in July and September and was kind of on fire, had a really good match today, finally. He was at 1-4. He's fighting a Sekewake. He's a Maegashira 4, but he just totally controlled the match and beat up Daisho. Hataki Komi slapped down win and went to 2-4, but that looks like the Chiranumi that was getting double-digit wins. So hopefully he can fight on now and get Kachikoshi. Fun matchup here between Atami Fuji and Hoshoryu, just because Atami Fuji has beaten Hoshoryu more times than Hoshoryu has beaten him. So in their head-to-head, it was Atami Fuji. Now, you might see this Kimarate here, okay, and be like, "What's that?" Haven't seen that one before. So let's type it in. Uh, I need to know how to spell it. Isai mi ashi. Okay. Ashi is the word for foot, so that might tell you something. Isai mi ashi. Okay. Did I spell that right? No, maybe I didn't. Isami ashi. I put an extra E in there. There we go. Okay. So it's a forward step out, and here's a little video you can watch on Grand Sumo highlights about it. And here's just the Wikipedia. So A situation in which an attacking Rikishi accidentally steps too far forward and out of the ring, his opponent thus winning. It's one of the few, it's a kimarite, but it's not a winning technique, it's a losing technique. Okay. So when you watch this match, and it's obviously up on my Patreon, if you're not Patreon person, go find it somewhere else because you'll want to watch maybe some slow-mo of it. Atami Fuji is controlling the match. He's got Hoshoru at the edge, and then Hoshoru pulls off some amazing ring sense and knowledge of where he's at and what he's got to do to like stay in. So he's got his foot on top of the straw bales, Hoshoru. Atami Fuji's lunging forward. He's trying not to go out with momentum. Hoshoru puts his other leg up in the air and it's going to be coming down. Now, if there was more out here, because the dohyo extended, his foot would have touched down, but it's in air. And Atami Fuji literally gets up on the straw bales himself, and all that goes into the sand on the other side outside the dohyo is his big toe. And the Gyoji, to his credit, was eagle eye. He saw it. He pointed his paddle at Hoshoru as the winner, and everybody's like, "What?" No, he was clearly going out. Well, and his other foot went down. And but then when you watch the replay, Atami Fuji's toe goes out before Hoshoru, any part of Hoshoru touches down on clay, and so they called it a forward step out on Atami Fuji's part. So not a winning technique for Hoshoru, but a losing one for Atami Fuji, and it was very close. There was a moment where Murray and I were thinking, maybe a do-over, maybe a Tori Naoshi, but they just cleanly gave the win to Hoshoru. And it's fine. I don't think it's controversial. It's just unusual. And so he is still 6-0, and Atami Fuji, unfortunately for him, is now 4-2, but still doing very well. Kotozakura took care of Abi. There's a little bit of back and forth. It wasn't a cut and dried match, but Kotozakura definitely knew what he was going to do and took care of business. So he's now 5-1. Abi was one loss, but now is at two losses at 4-2. And then in the final match of the day, just like in September, Wakataka Kage, one of the few men who beats Onosato, and he did it again here in November. So he won one of his, I was saying how they gave him all three Ozeki. He had Hoshoru in the final match of the day, then Onosato, and I'm sorry, Kotozakura, then Hoshoru, then Onosato. So he was in the final match of the day, days 4, 5, and 6. He lost the first two, and then he beat Onosato. So great win for Wakataka Kage to go to 4-2. Onosato fans a little disappointed. He wasn't moving forward. He was trying to pull as he was going backwards, and Wakataka Kage is a tough guy to pull down. And he is now 4-2 himself, as obviously the lowest ranking Ozeki now of the three. Okay, so some good matches today, some good stuff over on Patreon. Let's look at the tournament leaders board. So we've got two guys still undefeated, the Ozeki and a Maigashira 15. So you've got like these polar ends of the Banzuke who are undefeated. They'll start to pull Onokatsu up to fight higher ranked guys, but not yet. And the big match and the fun match tomorrow, which we're going to get to in a minute, they've got him fighting Takeda Fuji tomorrow. So that's definitely a fun test for him. A fairly young guy, from Mongolia, 24 years old, and just, burning it up. He's only been in the top. This is only his second basho in the top division. He got a 7-8 his first basho. So, but he 13-2 in Juryo and some good scores in the third tier division. So he's definitely a talented Rikishi and just having a great tournament so far. Then the guys who have only one loss, Kotozakura, Takanosho, Matakeyumi, who probably won't come back, and Gonoyama. So it's a pretty tight leaderboard right now. But I would still say that, people like Onosato, the two lost guys, are very much in it. But who's going to step up and beat Hoshoru? He's looking pretty on fire. Okay, down in Juryo, we've got Oshomi undefeated, and then we got five guys with one loss. So lots of fun stuff happening down in Juryo as well. Let's see if Enho fought. These are the guys that are 3-0 in the Enho division. Yep, there he is. So he's got 3 wins and is undefeated so far. And he fights on day 7. So he could get his fourth win. Fourth win in any of the divisions below Juryo is Kachikoshi. But if you want to go up, you want to get a fifth, sixth, or seventh. But a fourth win is a winning record, so that's good in and of itself. Okay, day 7. Let's see who's fighting who tomorrow in Makuuchi. Juryo 4 Tamashoho is getting pulled up to fight Maegashira 17 Bushozan. As I said, one of the highlight matches that I'll have for you on the channel is Takeda Fuji versus Onokatsu. Shishi has Chiyoshoma. Asakoru has Shonana Umi. Let's see, other big ones. Tamawashi Midori Fuji is just a lot of fun. Both men are 3-3. Gonoyama trying to defend his one-loss record against Endo. This is Mitakeumi. So Takanosho, who only has one loss, could get a free win tomorrow if Mitakeumi has to pull out of the tournament, which would be my guess. Wakatake Kage has a softball and Oshoma, who's only 1-5. And then we get into the top ranked guys. Wakamoto Haru, the Komusubi, has Oho. Daisho has 1-5. Maegashira 1, Hirada Umi. Kirishima and Shodai, both men obviously need that win. Then the three Ozeki. Onosato starts us off against Ura. Abi takes on Hoshoryu. And Atamafuji is in the final match of the day against Koto Zakura tomorrow on Saturday, day 7. Okay. All right. I'm so dark. There is a light here, but I need to get a better light. Um, okay, that's gonna do it for me. Um, some of you have been asking about the link to check your status in the contest. There was some problems. Mike fixed it, and then something else went wrong, and he fixed it again, and now it seems to be working. So I'll put it down in the description of this video so you can check that out, check where you are in the contest. And oh, somebody else was asking, and I'll just ask a general audience question. If you have an answer, either feel free to email me. My email's down in the description, or you can just leave a comment and I'll probably see it. Um, how do you watch Patreon on your TV, right? So you've got the app, or you go to the website and you're watching it on your computer, but a lot of people want to watch their sumo, and I'm not surprised. I would too, on their television. So how do you kind of cast it over to there other than just sharing your screen, I guess? Does anyone know? I don't know if you have Apple TV in America, because see, I don't know if I can do it here, but in America, can you download the Patreon app on your Apple TV and then watch my videos through Apple TV on your big television? I'm pointing over there because my television is over there. Um, so yeah, so let me know if you're a Patreon person, or even if you're not on my Patreon, but you're on somebody else's Patreon, you watch your Patreon videos on your television. How do you do it? Because that would be helpful and I could share that information. Okay. Patreon is now available annual. So if you don't want to pay $1 a month, you can now pay, instead of that, you pay $12 for the year. But if you sign up for a year, Patreon allow me to give you a discount. So it's $10.80. You save $1.20. So it's like you're getting a free month. So not a bad deal. If you want to go over and sign up and watch all these videos with us. Okay. Thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow, Saturday night, for day 7 roundup, and look ahead to day 8, the middle Sunday. Who might be that Rikshi? Got 2 guys that could do it if they're still undefeated, that gets their Kachikushi first and thus fulfills the tiebreaker question. I checked where I was in the contest. I'll show you guys on screen tomorrow. I'll have the tab ready to go. But yeah, I'm not doing well because I have Kirishima, like so many of you do. I'm not getting any wins there. And yeah, I mean, my other guys are doing okay. I have Takanosho, he's doing well. Takayasu, and Takeda Fuji, okay. Wakatake Kage is good. Onosato, but uh, I don't have Onokatsu, for instance. I didn't pick him as a wild card. And yeah, the Kirishima pick is hurting a lot of us, but he's still in it, so he can still get wins. So that's good. All right. See you guys. Take care. See you tomorrow. Peace.